Alrighty, welcome. Today is Monday, Cinco de Mayo, here around Dallas and Fort Worth. So here we go with today's top stories here today. And basically, we got some more players angry by starting comments. We'll get into starting here as of right now, and then we'll talk more about other issues that happen. Let's go ahead and talk about the Donald Sterling story here today, Monday, Cinco de Mayo, 2014. Hope everyone is having a good Cinco de Mayo today, Monday, May 5th, year 2014. I know I am. So, unfortunately, we got a lot to talk about our plate here today as we speak. So, let's go ahead and talk about it here today. Los Angeles Clippers coach Doc Rivers of the team was distracted and angered by the racist comments made by owner Donald Sterling. This was a distraction, Rivers said in an interview Sunday with ESPN's Michael Wilbon. In our first meeting after the tapes came out, we had a meeting before practice. And when I walked in that room and looked at the players' faces, it was bothering them. They were angry. They wanted to do something. As a coach, I had to think about it. And I quote, "I'm not going to kid you around. I walked out with my gear on because I needed the players to see me with the gear on. But it wasn't easy to do it on that day because at that moment, at that time, you're representing something else. And you didn't want to end that was hard. The hardship the Clippers have gone through off the court has led to boost in national interest in the team, with an upstick of the being seen in TV ratings of the Clippers past four Western Conference playoff games since the scandal broke. I'll be back in just a moment. Thank you. Upstick seen in the TV ratings of the Clippers past four Western Conference playoffs games since the scandal broke. Dispute that Rivers has rejected any notation that his team is now America's team in the NBA, but can't help but note how much change he has seen in his lifetime on the topic of racism. Rivers grew up in Maywood, Illinois, in a 10 miles outside of downtown Chicago, and is the product of international marriage. I grew up in the 60s as a child at Primizo East High School, which was 60 minutes in the 60s because of racial acts. Rivers told Wilbon and the blacks walked on one side, and the whites walked on the other side. They were throwing stuff back and forth, and I used to sit there and watch them do it and think, why are they mad at it? I remember asking my dad, what are they mad at? And he used to say, they don't know. They just don't know. Rivers, whose father was a police officer, said that sports also added him in the scene past race. I think sports helped me too. Sports, you don't care what's next to you. You just want to know, can he play, Rivers said. I think that does help. I think people who play sports learn that in early on, there is no race. There's people, and I think that's important. The Clippers will face Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round of the playoffs, having embroiled in their scandal. Since this has led to excommunication of Sterling and the team's longtime owner. As questions have ranged from whether the players should boycott to who will lead the organization going forward, Rivers, who is also the Clippers' senior vice president of basketball operations, has served as the public face of a franchise which is its best chance at winning a title comes at the same time as the biggest scandal. Now, I truly do think, though, I understand why players are mad, and they have the right to be mad. Currently, to me, I don't think that would have affected anyone, but I think he's got a point. But before we begin there, let's talk about this interview that happened over the weekend, shall we? I'm not going to name her. You probably did saw her this past weekend on Univision, Telemundo, NBC5, Fox 4, and around other networks. Well, we'll talk about this here right now. Let's go ahead and go to this top story where his personal assistant was talking this past week on 2020 on ABC. We're going to listen in what she has to really say and why did it really happen. And was that the best thing to do in the NBA? Because clearly to me, as you may seem, this is something that has been a situation for anyone else to find out what's really happening. Because to me, as it may seem, guys, this is something that's been out of the ordinary. We'll go ahead and search it in just a moment here. Not for sure if it's on this top story. We had it last week. I'm thinking where she really did spoke about it. For right now, we'll get into something else before we get here. But first of all, let's go ahead and recap yesterday's scores on national television. The Brooklyn Nets win over the Raptors 104-103. Mavs lose to the San Antonio Spurs yesterday in San Antonio, Texas. Also yesterday on ESPN Dallas 102.3, ESPN FM 119-96. Now, fortunately for those here back in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I know it kind of stinks. I understand how you feel, and I feel very, very sad to hear that these teams, our team, the NBA team here in Dallas and Fort Worth, loses on a road game in San Antonio, Texas. Now, they had a chance here yesterday, Sunday, to have tied this game or led the game, but the first you go to halftime and you're down 53-35 yesterday, which was kind of weird, worse than in the NFL, like when the Cowboys are down 35-16, I'm guessing. This is not the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. This is the NBA playoffs. And I really don't know what happened to Dirk Nowitzki. Nowitzki was not putting any points in the paint. This team was not stopping Tim Duncan or Tony Parker, Mino Ginobili, or the kid from Brazil, Tito Spito. They were not stopping Thiago Splitter. They were not stopping these guys. So obviously, the points in the paint kind of did sound kind of weird because nowhere in the world was this going on, unfortunately. But, I mean, to me, as to me seeing, this is something that shouldn't happen in the first place. Now, I understand how the people feel here today, Monday. I felt very bad, I can tell you that right now, because I really don't understand what happened to Dallas. I thought Dallas was going to take care of business and very much, let's just say, get the job done right. Well, unfortunately, that did not happen at all. So, I'm guessing right now this is something that very much is an issue for every single one of us, because we know for the fact this is something that shouldn't have never happened. Now, the Dallas Mavericks would have taken their chances in beating the San Antonio Spurs yesterday, presented by Built for Tough Coast to Coast Eco Boost Challenge. Real people, real test drivers, real surprise. More, go to Ford.com. To me, it's amazing. I just have no words here today, Monday, Cinco de Mayo. I really don't, because I'm understanding, Dallas won a title, back in 2011. We were all there for the break at AT&T Plaza. And now they had this year, 2014, to go in and face the Portland Trailblazers, which is going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, here at home. Because the tickets were going on sale like crazy. They were going to sell them I'm guessing today? Now, unfortunately, that's over with. If you pass by the American Airlines here today, they have taken down the banner of the play. It's over. As I'm getting ready for the NFL regular season 2014, which I'm pretty much ready for. Done with the NBA, unfortunately, because Dallas Mavericks did not do well yesterday. And for those here today, sad Cinco de Mayo, May 2014, here today, Monday, I feel sad for all of us here today. I truly do. I have no words at the moment what really happened. I'm just hoping that maybe next season, 2015, when they get to the NBA playoffs, I will say, okay, Dallas Mavericks have another chance here. But the only way they have a chance here is if they get some good players. Right now, you got a lot of free agents out there because they couldn't have gotten it done yesterday. They did not get it done. It just surprised me what really happened with this team. I mean, it truly did. And I'm very kind of just saying, kind of disappointed because of what really happened. I'm telling you, this is something that should have never happened in the first place. And I'm thinking right now, well, we truly do got a point there. So our next top story here, time now is 9:44, presented by the 2014 Ford Fusion. Go further. 0 appearances plus 5,000 or up to 20,000 cash down, up to $500 cash back, or up to $20,000 cash back. Or 66 months more. Visit your North Texas Ford dealer today. Well, clearly to me, as I've been saying, the only team that got it done yesterday, Sunday, was the Brooklyn Nets. And kudos to their head coach and former Dallas teammate from New Jersey, Jason Kidd. I'm thinking right now, the Brooklyn Nets, they might make it to the NBA Finals. I don't think the Washington Wizards are going to make it to the NBA Finals this season. And I truly don't think the Miami Heat are going to be able to beat the Brooklyn Nets, because they won't. The Pacers are going to lose to the Washington Wizards this coming up week. And the Portland Trailblazers, they're going to beat the San Antonio Spurs this week. Oklahoma City Thunder will definitely beat the Clippers in 5 games. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. So who truly does make it to the NBA Finals this season before we even talk about it on ABC and ESPN Dallas 102.3? Well, I'm telling you right now, I got about a few teams here who will make it to the NBA Finals, who will breach that marked chapter That chapter that tells you I am pretty much ready. I'll tell you who here in just a moment. Because as it may seem right now, this is something that's going on today. So today, Cinco de Mayo, beginning in a few more hours later on today, Monday night NBA. Round 2 of the semi-conference finals, game 1 tonight. Washington Wizards at the Indiana Pacers, followed by at 8:30 on TNT. The LA Clippers take on Oklahoma City Thunder. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Brooklyn Nets at Miami Heat. 6 o'clock tomorrow on TNT. Then at 8:30, the Portland Trail Blazers at the San Antonio Spurs. So what really happens here now is going to be a different question. Out of these teams I'm reading you here today, Cinco de Mayo 2014, which is kind of saying sad Monday, I think the Wizards are going to win a series against the Pacers. I think Oklahoma City Thunder is going to beat the Clippers. I think Brooklyn is going to beat Miami. And I think Portland is going to beat San Antonio. So out of a Western Conference team versus an Eastern Conference team, who will it be? I'm going to say Dallas and Fort Worth is going to be Oklahoma City Thunder in the finals versus the Washington Wizards for the first time. Miami Heat, not Washington, Brooklyn, excuse me, is going to be Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Brooklyn Nets in the NBA Finals. Miami and Washington in Indianapolis, Indiana, the LA Clippers, the Spurs, those teams I'm naming you, they will be done. They go home with nothing. They don't make it to the finals. The Spurs do not make it to the finals. The Miami Heat do not make it to the finals. The Pacers do not make it to the finals. The Clippers don't make it to the NBA Finals. The only two teams that will make it to the NBA Finals are going to be Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Brooklyn Nets. That's who my preview is for right now here today, Cinco de Mayo. 10 out of 948 presented by Mortar Oil Recommend. See the magic. Penicil Oil. More, go to penicilloil.com. So, technically, those are going to be, let's say, previews of the NBA Finals. Now, we got a busy day this week. From the NBA playoffs, round 2, to the NFL draft, which begins this coming up Thursday, beginning right at 7 o'clock on ESPN and NFL Network. Which I'm kind of, let's say, not looking too forward to the NFL draft. I'm looking more forward to the NBA Finals, I'm guessing, and pretty much what has to be the Major League Baseball postseason in the NFL, which I'm kind of ready more for the NFL because the NFL is not going to be too far away. Coming up next year live on YouTube.com, we'll talk what is the next step for the Mavs, which they lost yesterday, much more. When we come back here next live on YouTube.com. We're back next. Alright, go back here live on YouTube.com. Time is 9:52 right now. Beautiful day right now here in Dallas. So we're there. Temperature right now. It's not like in the 70s right now as we get ready here for our next story. So that's what's the next step for the Dallas Mavericks. We get to the Insider ESPN.com, which I will gladly read to you here in just a moment. Because what really happened, was, let's just say, kind of weird at some point. And it really did at some point. Okay. Excuse me here for a moment. Okay. So they fought Benefice to defend the odds of unmentality wasn't enough. Dirk Nowitzki show us he has a lot left in the tank. Montana Ellis taught us the marriage is alive as well in the NBA. And head coach Rick Carlisle did a masterful job mixing up the lineups to get a defensively weak roster to overachieve this season. One has to wonder if the Dallas Mavericks won its last regular season game. We should be talking about the Mavs' huge upset of the Oklahoma City in the first round. But the San Antonio Spurs overcame an early scare to put Dallas away in 7 games. Overall, the Mavs have a lot of optimistic about besides Nowitzki's timeless play. They have tremendous cap flexibility to relift and reload their roster. How could that look? Well, right now, maybe the Dallas Mavericks could sign Chris Bosh. I'm not so sure whether they can or may not sign this man. Right now, this is going to be a little bit of worse right now because you got the majority of these players could be free agents right now as we speak. Once the NBA season is over, we'll start. Excuse me there for a second, kind of work from this, like we're having some technical difficulties here. Clearly to me, as it may seem right now, let's just say it sounds kind of weird now because you really don't know what's going to happen now for the NBA. And clearly, as you may speak to every single one of us, something that has never happened in ages. And unfortunately, it just happens out of nowhere. So I'm thinking, yes, it may be a problem. But really, I really don't know what's going to happen. Our next top story brings us to a player from Libet. What defines racist chats. So this is something to do with soccer, I'm guessing now, because there's some typical issues going on there in soccer here. I'm guessing this is the Liga. What really happens here now when it comes to an issue with these problems here? I really don't know, because the main seem right now it's going to be a little bit an issue. And that, let's just say it oversteps every single one of us here. Well, fortunately to me, it's a little bit an issue going on forward. Really, I mean, to me, racism. Let's just say here, the fact is, this past weekend, I was kind of listening to the interviews of his girlfriend, his personal assistant. Let's just say, whatever her name is. Now she's defending her boyfriend here, Mr. Donald Sterling, saying that the man is not racist, and that would he give anything to apologize to get his team back. Well, let's just say here today, Cinco de Mayo 2014, that's not going to happen. Donald Sterling cannot get involved in any more NBA with any NBA organization here. Let's just say he's banned for life. He's been fined $2.5 million And that's a huge finder now, some Fort Worth, because really, what are you truly going to do about it? That's my question. What are you truly going to do about it on your own time? There's not much to do to talk about here. Donald Sterling has been banned. This month, like I said a couple weeks ago, he needs to sell the NBA team, and that's what he will do. Sell it. He's got no choice, no other choice but to sell the team, because what are you going to do with the NBA team here? I mean, truly, what are you planning to do? I mean, right now, you don't have too much to talk about right now, because really, this is something that's affecting every single one of us here back and forth now, folks. I mean, is this something I very much want to talk about here today? Because, no, not really. Not really at all. I mean, this is something that, let's just say, it takes us back to back on what really happens. What really happens here, because I mean, this is something that stands in anything else besides what's really going on. I mean, technically, let's just say that. This is something that gets every single one of us, let's just say, to be dealt with, and this is something that stands on all of us right now. You know, this is something that very much stands on us. So, let's see if we can find her here. Well, so here we go. If we can find this recording call. If we do, we will gladly play it for you here today. So here we go. If we could play this clip here for you, Dallas and Fort Worth, if we do, we will gladly listen to what it has to say. For now, we'll sit back and talk about this here. You know, to me, sometimes Dallas and Fort Worth is something that stands back on us, and let's just say uh, this is something. This is something that very much stands on all of us right now. I mean, for the fact is, what really happened should have never happened. So let's go ahead and listen to this past week's clip here with our very own colleague, Barbara Walters. Here we go. You will listen to the words she says here in an exclusive interview with their very own colleague, Barbara Walters from ABC News 2020. So now it's channel 1. As I play this clip for you here today, Cinco de Mayo. I want all your opinions. Should we believe her? What she's saying about this man? I truly don't believe it. But let's listen to what she has to say here. Cinco de Mayo 2014. Shall we? Let's go ahead and do that here today. Because to me, as it may seem right now, Dallas and Fort Worth, let's just say it's not sounding good right now with this young girl. Because there would be anything else for me to very much just speculate what's really going on with this girl. I mean, I truly do not believe her. Let's just say that right now. She can say continually, constantly, really just constantly. No, I don't think he is. When we know for that fact that she really is. I mean, there is no issue giving thought to it right now at the moment. But to me, as it may sound right now, if she was not telling the truth last week on national television, because the majority of you probably saw this interview, and this is something that gets us all confused right now here today, Cinco de Mayo, May 2014. It truly does. I couldn't say why, but it truly does. So let's see here. We can gladly get this up and running, shall we? You know, um, to me, as it means seeing Dallas Fort Worth is very much a truly uh, not a good so far exclusive story. Because after listening to her back and forth, I truly don't believe that this is true. Let's just say she's kind of nervous. Let's just say that because she's got the paparazzi going up there to her place in Los Angeles, California, and let's just say this is something that clearly to me has to mean stand here. So let's go ahead and get this over with, shall we? Yeah, that's where we're trying to go to right now here. So let's see. We'll go ahead and play it here for you one more time here today. Cinco de Mayo, 2014. As it may seem or may not seem here, Time Now's Channel 4, we'll gladly play this for you over and over. And I want you, the fans, to tell me what you think. Here we go.
This is the story of the cosmic connection of the brothers Kavanaugh. Ed and Will were always so in sync. One day, at the exact same millisecond, an idea came to them of global proportions. Now synchronicity across a conference table is one thing, but collaborating across worlds is another. But with tenacity and technology, the brothers and their business remained cosmically in sync. Within processors.
Mr. Viana, you just left Donald Sterling. What is his state of mind right now?
Confused. I think he feels very alone, not truly supported by those around. And tormented, emotionally traumatized.
You were with him, so he's not alone.
I'm with him in a state of where I want to help him, urging him to come to his own rescue. But even so, I think he feels that he's alone.
Do you think that Donald Sterling should apologize?
Absolutely.
Did you discuss this with him?
Yes.
Will he apologize?
Only God knows.
Are you in love with Donald Sterling?
I love him.
I'm not sure that's what I asked. Are you in love?
No, I'm not in love.
You love him what? Like a friend?
I love him like
romance?
I love.
Now, uh, this interview, let's just say, what she's telling her own colleague here, uh, to me, it sounds kind of weird. Let's just say that because she's obviously, let's just say, denying it. Okay? Now, I don't give thought to this story back and forth. But you just saw what really happened here today, Monday, Cinco de Mayo, 2014. I really,
This is the story of the cosmic connection of the brothers Kavanaugh.
you know, this is every single
And
one
will
of the
always
people.
so insane. One day, in the exact same millisecond,
Let's just say that right now. She's clearly not telling the truth to each one of us here. And as it may sound here, uh, this is something that clearly to me as it may seem, she's kind of lying through her head. Let's just say that right now, because there's no way in the world that she is not. Let's just say once again, she's not being racist. And we know for the fact she is. We know for the fact that she is. So, given to me an opportunity here once again, do I think she is? Of course, she is. He is actually. Let's just say she's kind of cutting his tracks here. Because there is no way in the world that this side of the story should not be completed. And you heard the interview back and forth what she's trying to say, and I truly don't think that she's telling the truth. I really don't. I truly think, in my own opinion, that she's kind of, let's just say, she's kind of lying on her beneath her head. Her conscience, her conscience is not letting her think right here today, Monday, Cinco de Mayo. So I'm pretty much guessing we're going back and forth here in this interview. We really are. So here we go. I mean, to me as it may seem here, this is something that is outrage. I think she's kind of, let's just say, she's defending this man in his own thoughts. I mean, how could she be defending him? How could she? This is something that's particularly wrong right now. So here we go. Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling confined V. Stavario today told ABC's Barbara Walters that she thinks the embattled NBA basketball owner should apologize for his racist remarks. And I quote, "Yes, absolutely," Stavario, 31 years old, said when Walters asked her during an exclusive television interview in Los Angeles, California. "I think he's highly more traumatized and hurt by things than he said himself," she added. "I think he can even believe or understand sometimes the things he's going to say, things he says. I think he's hurt by it and he's hurting right now." Okay, this here in North Texas uh, has been fully not true. Okay, let's just say that. Let's just say she's clearly lying through her head. The man is racist, for goodness sake. There is no way he is. She's telling the truth. She's lying. She's saying he's not a racist. Okay, I'm saying he is a racist. How can you say things about your own team when you own this NBA organization team here? These racist things, these prejudice things, they have got to stop. We're not in the old days no more here when we could just say whatever we want here to the people. No, we should not be racist. Racism is a thing I cannot tolerate. I'm sick and tired of people being racist about us, the Hispanic people. I'm truly am. I'm tired of people being racist about the African Americans when they say they're doing wrong things when they're not. It's not their fault. I clearly show respect to every African American out here today, Cinco de Mayo 2014. I truly do. This is something that we should all be friends here, people. Truly. This racism has got to stop. What are we going to do about it? I mean, clearly. Should she be sued by the NBA? Yes, she should be sued. Should she suffer the consequences for saying that? Yes, she should. Should they both be put behind bars and be banned from the NBA? Yes. Do I think that she's going to get fired from her job as a personal assistant? Yes. The Sterling family will definitely fire her sometime this week. I'm not for sure when. But clearly, thoughts here, people. This is something I could just not understand. How could she be saying these things about, oh, he's hurting right now. The man is not hurt right now, Stabato. This man right now, today here, Cinco de Mayo, may be thinking, oh, I'm going to fight for my NBA team to get it back. Well, let's just say what? He's not going to get it back. Because obviously what he did here was, let's just say, very wrong, uncalled for. You just don't do that. You just don't. I mean, clearly to me, as I mean, seeing back and forth here, folks, this is something that's given that she had, that they both had. He had the opportunity here to have never recorded himself on those tapes. Truly did. But what did he do? He recorded himself. He told what he said about the African Americans, and that is something I cannot tolerate. That's something I really hate racism. Let's just say that. I hate it when people say racial things about anyone here in the United States. I truly do. I'm not saying this on behalf of my African American brothers and sisters here. I truly am. This is something that should not be tolerated anywhere around the world. Okay? When I go to public places, and I really hate to hear somebody say racist things about me. I truly do. I mean, for the fact that I'm not here, me as a Hispanic person, this isn't my country to tell you the truth. But I live here. And I have rights. I have opinions to obtain to. When I really think about things, when I really don't think about things. But clearly to me, this is something that should be stopped. We shouldn't be treated because of the color of our skin. We shouldn't be saying racist things about anyone, period. Now, you can be racist about animals all you want, things like that, but do not be racist, say racist things about human beings. We should show them the respect that they deserve, and we should treat them very nicely and fairly. We should not treat each other mean, angry, offensive. No, we should not. Now, to me, on this story back and forth here from last week, this is something that very much surprises me. Is she lying about it? Yes, she's lying about it. She's trying to cover his own tracks and what he really has to say. I mean, this is something. So here we go. Asked if she thought he would go through a public apology, Savannah replied, God only knows. This is the first television interview for Stavato since the NBA handled Sterling's lifetime ban and $2.5 million fine on Tuesday for his racial remarks about African Americans' future in a link audio tape recording. Prior to this interview with ABC News, Stavato has been seen in public wearing a large visor over her face, which she said she made it easier to mask the pain. The interview comes a week after TMZ released the audio recordings, and so the quality launched the leak investigation that lead to the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to ban Sterling for life. The NBA Board of Governors will vote on whether Sterling will be forced to sell the team. One of the mysterious surroundings in this situation is how the audio recordings came to light. Stavato, who knows, was receiving end of Sterling's rant on the link tapes and describes herself as half black and Mexican. Joan Walters. She did record their conversations and shared them with friends. Stavato said a friend linked the audio. But she said this rant in which Sterling told Stavato not to promote her relationship or bring them to my games was not the first time they had these conversations. There's been a number of occasions where Mr. Sterling and I had conversations just like this one. This was the one of meaning, she said. Part of what the world heard was only 15 minutes. There is a number of other hours that the world doesn't know. Stavato declined having a romantic relationship with Sterling, saying she is his personal assistant and seeing Sterling as a father figure, calling herself his silly rabbit. And she claims that people around Sterling will say negative things about her to him, saying they poison his mind and heart about things about me, and which drive him to say certain things. Dispute the controversy around his comments, she said, he's not a racist. And I quote, I think Mr. Sterling is a different generation than I am. Mr. Sterling, I think Mr. Sterling is different from a different generation than I am. I think he was brought to believe that these things in segregation, Stavato said, but through his actions he's shown that he's not a racist. He is shown to be a very generous, kind man. Sterling has owned the Clippers since 1981, sources told ESPN Thursday that Sterling is battling cancer. Stavato is currently tagged in legal battle with Sterling's ex-stage wife, Rochelle Stark. Now, to me, people, she could say all she wants. But seriously, this is something that I cannot help. Because, I mean, how pathetic does she have to be? Okay. This is something I could just say the majority about as to say. Okay. And a lot of people are outraged by this. Who is I mean I am. I'm truly am. Because she's lying through her own words. She's saying he's not racist. Okay? The man is racist. He truly is. There is no way in the world that this man is not racist. Because he is racist. Okay? Let's just say that right now, Donald Sterling is a racist person. And Stavato, she's lying about it. She's not telling the world the truth that whether she does have a romantic relationship with this man. She's denying it. She's denying it through her own nose, through her own words, through her own mouth. Her conscience here at Dallas and Fort Worth is not letting her rest. And the NBA league, I may add, well, let's just say it's obviously an issue here. Now, for its truth being here today, it's not looking right. It truly isn't. I mean, should she lose her job as his personal assistant? Yes. I think her day, Cinco de Mayo 2014, he needs to lose his job. She needs to get fired by the certain fact. That I think the wife needs to take care of this issue and sue her for what she's got. For one, he was buying her gifts. He started her with gifts. And that's something I was supposed to do. Period. But clearly, let's just say, he wasn't thinking right. She wasn't eating. I'm gonna say this in my own words here to behalf of all my African American brothers and sisters. Mrs. Tobato, she's lying about not having a romantic relationship with Donald Sterling when we know for the fact she is. Oh yeah, of course she is. The man is 80 years old. She's 40-year old. She's a 40 year old younger, 40 year olds younger than him. She's 40 years old younger than him. Okay, come on. What does he see in a 40-year-old girl? Well, really, I don't see nothing much in a 40-year-old woman here. Really, I really don't. I just think for the fact when he's saying what she's trying to say, what she said last week, kind of just to say, I'm appalled with it. I'm truly appalled with these issues, and I truly think this needs to stop. This needs to stop to the end. He's got no choice but to sell this NBA team franchise organization. That's all I gotta say. He's got no choice. Now, I'm clearly just saying here today, here Cinco de Mayo, is he's got no choice. He's got no choice. Because I mean, for one, I'm not the one that's gonna stop him here. No, I'm not. I'm not the one that's gonna stop him here. He's gonna have to be the only one to stop himself here in his own time. I'm not gonna stop him because I'm not. So where do we go from here forward? Well, let's just say I really don't know. I have no words for this man right now here today, Cinco de Mayo. I just think what really is going on here is it's a different story here. To me, it just really is. To me, I just can see that anything like this has been seen, right? I mean, this is something I can just not see happening. I think it's something that shouldn't be happening. Okay. Time now is 10:24, right? 10:24. Beautiful day, 24, right? So here's what we're going to do here in just a moment. Here. We're going to go ahead and very much specifically specify what's really going on. Because to me, as I seeing right now, folks, this is something that's not sounding right to me right now. I mean, it just truly isn't. I mean, I can't think of anything else here to say about having anyone else for now. I just really can't. You know? I just really can't seem to figure anything else about this really because uh, this is something that very much to say surprises me. It truly does. I mean, it really just does, just to say that. We'll take a quick break here. Let's go ahead and continue talking about this here. Our next top story here begins with the guy who did a dumb thing. Why did he do it? I truly just don't know. Why did he do it? That's my point of view. Why did he do it? I don't know. Back in just a moment. Back in just a moment. Thank you. Alrighty. So here we go one more time here. Sorry for that big old mistake here, Jackson Fort. Okay, we're back now here live on YouTube.com. Alright, here we go. Tallahassee, Florida. James Wilson has been restricted to Florida State's baseball team after being suspended following a shoplifting incident, the school confirmed Sunday. The Heisman Trophy winner was issued a civil citation into a program that required 20 hours of community service. The 20-year-old two-sport star is the closer on the baseball team and missed the three-game series against Minnesota this past weekend. He was issued a citation last Tuesday after he walked out of a supermarket without paying $32 worth of crab legs and crawfish. Baseball coach Mike Martin confronted with the football coach Jimbo Fisher and decided to suspend Wooston until he's completed the community service. Wooston is restricted, yes, Martin said. According to the Orlando Sentinel, he finished his community service as soon as he did, and we reinstated him. The 6'4", 235-pounder Wooston led Florida State football team to an undefeated season and a national championship. He leads with the Seminoles with 5 saves. Well, clearly to me, as it may sound here, Dallas and Fort Worth, how in the world do you go to a public place and, let's just say, not even pay for it? This is sounding kind of odd here. It truly is. I mean, is it my being of this issue, or is it just being seriously here, folks? Because I really have no idea. Alright, so we're good with sports here. Thank you very much for talking about that here. Let's go ahead and go some news, shall we? We're in our own backyard here. Tell us 10:40. Very beautiful day here in Dallas, right there. Of course, it's going to reach 94 degrees today in Dallas, where it's going to be kind of humid and hot out there. Right now, so far, temperature right now 74 degrees. Well, currently, as we got more information here from the story we talked about last week, and we got some news stories here right now, some news updates on this situation here. Apparently, as I claimed once again, it was the mother's boyfriend who was beating this young poor little boy, and clear to me, we have been updating, he's been arrested. So here we go with our top story today, Cinco de Mayo 2014. Arlington, Texas. The boyfriend of an Arlington woman has been arrested after her 8-month-old son was nearly beaten to death. Arlington police said an arrest warrant was issued for Miguel Eduardo Garcia, 22 years old. He was pulled over today for a traffic violation and arrested on Thursday, April 29th. He is charged with an injury to a child seriously bodily injury. He has also outstanding warrants, police said. The child's biological father, Julio Cruz, Sr., said he got a phone call on April 7 to rush to Cook Children's Medical Center and found his son Julio Cruz Jr. unconscious and fading fast. The doctor said he probably wouldn't make it, the father told News 8. But they're legally surgery in a week in intensive care unit. Julio Cruz Jr. started to slowly recover. You know, this is something that very much surprised me. The mother and the boyfriend? Wow, a 22-year-old guy here beats up this poor kid? I'm hoping this Mr. Eduardo Garcia is being put behind bars for what he did. Glad to me, as I said once again, it's truly sad. It truly is. How does a mother like this trust this guy? Okay, the guy into your gate. He did once again. Maybe it may surprise me. Know this.